Larsa want to be a victim so bad.
Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25
What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode 12. And the name of the episode is called UNCIVIL in Sevilla. I feel like that they should, if y'all want us to say Sevilla, y'all need to make something that rhymes with Sevilla instead of putting uncivil, because you know we're going to say Seville. This was a jam-packed episode. This was a good episode. I feel like that this review is about to be long.
Oh no.
And let's just go ahead and get into it because I really did enjoy this episode. So the episode started off, it was a continuation from the last episode where Larsa is looking for attention and she's threatening to leave the dinner. Larsa is up. She's saying that she doesn't want to be a part of this and she doesn't know what Jody wants from her. So then they have Larsa in a confessional and she's reading the text. The text literally saying, "I'm trying to let it all drop, but you seem not to want it. Let this fight go like we have been trying to." This is what Jody is texting to Larsa. Larsa says, "I've never in my life said anything rude to you, like ever." And so Bravo wrote that beautiful bean footage, and they showed a clip of Larsa in the back of the car. Remember, they all shared a car when they got to Milan. They was all in the back of the car together, and she called Jody psycho. So you have said something rude to him before. Everybody is worried about the text messages, which really aren't that bad. Adriana is worried about the legal motion, which is serious and real. Adriana says that there's 2 separate issues. Jody shouldn't be texting you, but she did receive some information from her lawyers about her children. Larsa says this has been going on for 3 years. Lisa has killed the vibe and ruined dinner. The woman is going through a divorce. Larsa, on the other hand, has been crying all trip and upset because Lisa follows Marcus on Instagram. Make it make sense. Then you went and called this girl a groupie because she was following Pippen and now she's following Jordan. But girl, you were fucking Pippen and then started fucking Jordan. Not even Michael Jordan, his son. So what does that make you? Lisa is breaking down. Gertie tries to help her. Lisa said that she felt like that she was paralyzed. And that's how I am sometimes. I don't know. Is Lisa a Cancer? I don't know if that's a Cancer trait or something, but sometimes when I get bad news and I get, as soon as I get it, sometimes I feel paralyzed, like I want to faint or something. I try to handle it a little bit later, but as soon as I get some type of bad news, sometimes I just like, and I just fall out. But in this situation, Lisa needs to react quickly because this has to do with her kids. Gertie says this is light work for situations that she had to deal with. And she explains that she had to deal with a groom saying no at the altar. I really had to rewind it because I thought that she was talking about her being stood up at the altar. But then I had to remember she had been with Russell since she had been in high school. And then I had to remember that she was an event planner. Now, somebody at the table ended up saying, "I just don't believe that she had an hour to sign it." It sounded like it was Stephanie, but when Adriana addressed it, she was talking to Alexia. And so Adriana said, "You know how men play games," and then she brings up Todd. And Alexia gets upset and is like, "Don't bring up Todd, don't bring up Todd." Yes, baby. We bringing up Todd. I got her. Remember how you was crying and saying you came home and all Todd shit was gone? Huh? How he had moved him and his daughter shit out the house little by little and you didn't notice it? How he even took the shampoo and conditioner? And then you tried to weaponize it and say that he did it all in front of Frankie.
Your child is broken.
So yeah, playing games. But my thing is, I didn't believe that. And nor did the women in the group believe you, because when you said that he had even took the shampoo and conditioner, I remember Julia looking at you and I remember Julia thinking to myself, girl, she don't believe that shit. But the girls rallied around you and never questioned you because you are in charge of the girls. The girls still rallied around you even though it was bullshit. Even though Adriana had been telling them since last season it was something not up with him, but the girls still rallied around you. But the thing is, These women just don't care. And I'm not surprised because the women don't even care about Gertie having and surviving cancer. So of course they don't care about Lisa getting a divorce. And so we see that Lisa actually does have an hour. So it wasn't just an hour. She had an hour and 3 minutes to get everything done. She really did. So they was at the table. Adriana was talking about how she had to go to mass, and then Larsa then gets upset and tell Adriana that she is making up excuses for her and her bad behavior. And then she's trying to tell Adriana to move, telling Adriana what to sit. And so Adriana said, no. I mean, Larsa probably be tired of hearing what Lisa got going on with her divorce, but I'm not with the women ganging up on Lisa. And they are ganging up on Lisa. I feel like the girls are ganging up on Lisa. Larsa says that no one sends you a letter and say sign it now. Yes, they do. And the crazy thing about all of this is that Larsa has been through a divorce before. Larsa has been through a divorce with the Scottie Pippen. And I'm pretty sure when she was getting divorced from Scottie, that mostly everything was in Scottie's favor. I'm sure of it. Lisa ends up talking to a notary. She ended up getting everything done, and then she ended up coming back to the table. And so Larsa and Lisa talked. Lisa ended up reading the messages between her and Jody. And only thing that Jody was basically saying was let that shit go. It's just so crazy because Larsa really tried to weaponize those text messages. Larsa is trying to read Lisa. Larsa is just so whack to me. She can't even read. She was trying to read Lisa at the table, and all of it was falling flat. Lisa is taking notes about everything that Larsa is saying to her. And she said, I'm taking notes because, Larsa likes to twist things up. And Larsa said, you don't take notes on friends. And Lisa is saying, girl, we're not really friends. And so Larsa said, go sit over there. Larsa just wants to be a victim so bad. But Larsa, you have to make up your mind. You can't be the victim and the bully. You can't be both of them. Meanwhile, Julia has been running around, goes around kissing everybody. She kissed most of the girls. And Gertie, I can't believe you. After this woman assaulted you, you kissed her?
What kind of bullshit is that?
I feel like when people do stuff like that, when Julia did this, she was trying to water down what she did to you. Almost like when Dr. Wendy was over there showing her pussy to Mia after Mia assaulted her. It goes to say, or it goes to show that you can't be too mad or you can't be too afraid because we was kissing. You showed me your pussy afterwards. So how scared of me are you? How concerned for your safety are you really? Gertie was assaulted by this girl. Now she lip locking with the bitch at the table. And when they was kissing, Gertie had her mouth open. She didn't put no tongue in it, but her mouth was open. And I feel like that if Julia would have put her tongue out, Gertie would have meshed her tongue and they would have been really tongue tying at their table. She had her mouth open, but Martina probably told her, you kissing, girl, but you better not put no motherfucking tongue in. That tongue is only for my puss.
Oh, please, darling, cool it down.
So the next morning, they're showing all of the women and they're FaceTiming. And the more I hear Julia talk, the more I feel like that she shouldn't have adopted those boys. So Julia is FaceTiming her friend Derek, and she tells Derek that Martina is babysitting the boys.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. She ain't babysitting the boys. She's not babysitting the boys. She's watching her children. Y'all adopted those boys. Martina is at home with the boys. She's at home with the kids. To say that she is babysitting the boys, in my opinion, is not her or not y'all claiming the children as y'all own. It's not taking ownership of the kids. Am I tripping? I don't know. I just feel like when you say that she's babysitting, she's not babysitting her kids. You can't babysit your kids. It's not taking ownership of the kids. And it's those little bitty things like that for me that makes me feel like, yeah, you shouldn't have adopted these kids. Because it's like you got the kids, but you got them over there. I got them, but I got them over here. So the women break up into two separate groups. Okay, in one group, we got Larsa, Stephanie, Marysol, and Alexia. They're going to a tile place. This bullshit with Larsa and Stephanie, we got to break that shit up. We got to break it up. Larsa is coming off like a groupie that we know that she is. At least Alexia and Marysol, they split up when they went dress shopping last episode, right? Larsa won't let Stephanie breathe. They're supposed to be going to paint tiles, and I guess the producers thought it would be fun to have all of the women draw penises. So Marysol drew a penis. It was a long penis. The producer said that it was a real minimalist, clean penis. It didn't have no hair or nothing. Alexia drew a penis. Her penis didn't have a lot of length to it, but it had a lot of dirt to it.
I was just, you know.
You better go
Because they said.
I see you, Alexia. Then we got Larsa. Larsa didn't draw one. You know the ones like Larsa be the real hoes. They try to act prudish in public, like they above it, but you running around here with Marcus after you probably saw one need to change his diaper. Girl, draw the damn dick. Then we got Julia. So, you know, she a bull dagger, and I felt like that she didn't draw a penis. I feel like that she drew a bull dagger sex toy. It was something shaped like a dick, but not quite. You get what I'm saying? It certainly wasn't no penis. She probably been using the toy so long with Martina that she probably forgot what a real dick looked like. Probably, I believe that that's probably a lesbian sex toy or bull dagger sex toy. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all used them before. Then we got Stephanie. Stephanie ended up drawing Masu's dick.
Why would you do that?
I was sick to my stomach. She actually FaceTimed him, and he said it looked exactly like it. I could have went the rest of my life without looking at something like that. It looked like it was kind of small with some big balls and a big mushroom head, but it wasn't a lot of length or girth to it. Now, in the other group, we got Gertie, Alexia, Kiki, and Lisa, and they go out to go see the city of Seville. Baby, Kiki pulled out another look in the city of Seville. I don't mess with the girl, but I got to give it up, baby. Kiki is walking around Seville like she is royalty, baby. Now, Adriana is a very well-layered onion. She really knows a lot of history, and this is probably why the girls don't like her. So in their group, Adriana is kind of like their personal tour guide. I would have think that Alexia would have been trying to go around and show the girls the city of Seville because she actually lived there. But I mean, she's just not it. She did. She went to go paint tiles. But we learned a lot more about Adriana. Well, at least I'm learning a lot more about Adriana. She said that she has traveled to 58 different countries. She lived in Paris, where she studied art history. She lived in Florence, where she studied Italian art, and she also lived in Rome. And she said that this is what she is about. So then we flash back or flip back. We going in between the groups. So we got Larsa, Stephanie, Marysol, and Alexia, and Julia again. So we got the girls that are still painting tiles. Well, the ladies are going to Marbella the next day, and Stephanie asked Larsa if she wanted Lisa to be invited on the plane.
Hey, what?
And Larsa, being the punk puss that she is, instead of saying, no, I don't want the bitch on the plane, she said that she was checking so hard the day before she doesn't think that she wants to be on the plane with her. Girl, you know you don't want to be at the plane with her. You were shaking because she showed up and gagged you. The girl, she literally did nothing to you. You was upset at her presence. Julia explains that she wanted to use the ladies to ask Derek and his husband, Jeffrey, to be godparents to the boys, and that she wanted her boys to have male figures in their life. And that's great, but where are the Black people in their lives? Yes, they can teach them to be men. I don't doubt that they would be good godparents to the boys, but there is an experience in walking around this world as Black people, especially a Black man, that people just don't understand. And I don't want to make it a race issue, but I feel like most of the time when Black people share their experience, it's often dismissed.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest about it.
Julia says that she's sorry for what Lisa is going through, but the dinner the day before turned into a disaster. Now, am I tripping? Because Larsa is the one that caused the disaster. I know I'm not tripping because I went back and watched. Lisa was on time. She rode in the car with Stephanie and Kiki. I don't remember who else was in the car, but they was over there talking about shaving. And she rode in the car with Stephanie and Kiki. Larsa is the one who caused the disaster. Before they were seated, they went to the bar. Larsa told some of the girls that Jody had been texting her. She didn't tell Lisa because she wanted to weaponize it later on at the table. Larsa and Jody are clearly friends because he has her number and they are texting, right? So they're clearly friends. She just wanted to weaponize it. And he was only texting her because they had a fight in the elevator before they got dressed to go to dinner about Jody and Milan. And so Lisa went back and told Jody, he is their friend. And so now she's trying to weaponize, like, this man is texting me, girl, stop. Then what happened was Lisa received the email that she needed to sign a notary in an hour. Lisa told the girls what was going on. She got up from the table alone to go try to take care of it. Once she got up from the table, Larsa is the one who got upset. Larsa is the one who said that she wanted to go home because she couldn't stand the attention that Lisa was getting. Larsa wanted a moment for the girls to gang up on Lisa or browbeat her into unfollowing Marcus. And then she wanted to weaponize the messages that Jody sent to her. And she knew that once Lisa said that she had to get that paperwork taken care of and she left from the table, it was a moment that she was not going to get. So even when Lisa got up from the table and came back, Lisa was confused at what Larsa was bitching about because she was really explaining to girls why she was getting ready to leave. So blaming Lisa for this is wild. This was all Larsa's doing. Lisa actually got up from the table to go try to take care of what she wanted to take care of, what she needed to take care of. This was Larsa. Alexia isn't feeling this whole we not inviting Lisa on the plane. So Alexia is saying, you look, something is going on with her. She was never like this before. Baby, she's going through a divorce. She's going through a divorce. And so Alexia says, Julia needs to talk to her because you just can't invite her. And Stephanie, her face is looking shocked, like, because she want to be like, bitch, this is my plane. Let me tell y'all something. I keep telling y'all, y'all don't be believing me. Baby, them hoes had a conversation on that private jet on the way there about Lisa. And I believe that they probably put something in Adriana's drink to make her go to sleep.
Yup.
Or they probably was talking about it when Adriana was asleep. Because they are on this trip trying to isolate Lisa. Stephanie's in a confessional saying Lisa gets away with anything and everything in this group. They've been friends with her for so long and they learned to accept the way that she is and they continue to allow her to be destructive.
Were you there, beloved? Were you there?
You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You wasn't even there. You've only been around Lisa this season. And this season, she's just so happened to be going through a divorce. And I'm not saying a divorce. I mean, a divorce is a very big thing that happens in a person's life. Where is the grace? She goes on to say at the table that she has seen Lisa come in and ruin the environment, and she doesn't know if she's going to get on the plane and cause an issue, and she's not willing to take that chance. And so Larsa is saying, I don't want to be on the plane with her because she's taking notes. And this is where I call bullshit. Her not being on the plane because she's taking notes doesn't solve the problem that you have with her taking notes, right? Because she could take notes anywhere. Y'all just want to pull y'all weight around and pull strings around to isolate her and not have her get on the plane.
Like what?
Boom.
Like,
That's the reason why.
And Alexia, she's against it. And she was like, well, look, it's only going to be 22 minutes. And Stephanie said, well, a lot can happen in 22 minutes. They don't want her on the plane. They don't want her on the plane. So next we get Gertie, Adriana, Kiki, and Lisa. Lisa said that she feels like that she's crumbling with this divorce. And she said that her son is walking around saying that he wants to put her and Lenny back together. Kiki ends up saying that it isn't okay for Jody to be calling the women in the group. And so Lisa says, look, it was about him, so I told him. And then Kiki goes to say, well, it was the amount of text that he did. Child, they was having a conversation. The way Larsa tried to put it out there is not true. Larsa was replying. They literally read the messages. It wasn't just these messages that he was sending Larsa and Larsa was never responding. They were replying to each other. Should he have texted her? Maybe not, but they're friends though. I feel like sometimes when men get into it with women, when the woman doesn't want to take accountability, they always, oh, this man is texting me, but she was texting back. They're friends, they have each other's number. She was replying to the text messages. They was having a conversation. She just wanted to weaponize it to the girls in the group. And they fell for it. Y'all fell for it. So then we get back to the group with Stephanie. Stephanie wants to take a vote. My thing is, stand on business. It's your plane. Stand on business. Y'all too punk puss for me. There's no need to take a vote if it's your plane. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to go back and tell Lisa that I feel like it. So you want to make it seem like the other women are involved in the process and she was being voted out by the group. You know, the same way Larsa is saying to Lisa, everybody here feels that way, right? Y'all don't want to stand on business as bitch, I feel like yada, yada, yada. You want to say it's the group because you want to do a gang up.
Only weak bitches do that.
It's your plane. Say what you want to say, what the fuck you feel. Say what you want to say. So Julia and Marysol agreed to talk to her, and Alexia warns. Alexia says, look, Larsa has been telling her since June to unfollow Marcus. She hasn't. If you talk to her like that, she's going to tell you, don't tell me what to do. And in that statement, Alexia kind of admits that it's not so much the action of her not unfollowing Marcus, it's the way and manner in which Larsa is telling her to unfollow Marcus. There is something wrong with the tone that Larsa is telling Lisa, or Larsa is trying to tell Lisa what to do. It's not just the unfollowing him or her following him, it's the way that Larsa is telling her to do it. I kind of lost a lot of respect for Alexia in this scene because even though she seemed to be against it, she wasn't very vocal. I feel like that she should have called Stephanie out for dangling her plane like a carry over the girls again. Like, let her, I feel like that Alexia, let her know, bitch, you bought your plane, girl, and that's good. But if you think that you're going to continue to use your plane to manipulate the people in the group, bitch, you is crazy. And I feel like that Alexia didn't say that and stand on business. Stephanie is trying to pull strings with this plane or make power plays with this plane, girl. And bitch, we will drive to motherfucking Marbella before I let you think. But it ain't Alexia trip either, though. But I just feel like with Alexia, she seems to be the gutter bitch of the crew. Or I feel like she the main one in charge. When I see these girls, I feel like Alexia is the Nene. So I put a lot on Alexia with this group. And I'm surprised that you let Stephanie sit at this table and play with this plane in y'all face.
I don't like this at all.
And for Marysol and Julia, they didn't really say nothing. Julia ain't gonna say nothing. What I'm getting from Marysol a little bit is that she don't like it, but they just so happy to be riding on the private jet. But I would not, if I was hosting the trip and I invited Lisa all the way to Spain, if she don't get on the jet, I'm not getting on the jet. Better yet, we would have got up in the morning time and Stephanie and Larsa would have been on their private jet and everybody else would have got a plane. And I would have been like, girl, you're not about to manipulate us with this group, girl. Keep your jet. Y'all can go over there. You and her can go back to Miami, do what the fuck y'all doing, and we're going to do what we doing. Because I'm not about to let you isolate nobody in the group just because you feel like you got your jet. Girl, fuck you. So then we get to Gertie, the group over here with Lisa. And Adriana feels like that they need to de-escalate the situation between Lisa and Larsa. And Adriana says, I get that you don't want to unfollow Marcus because Larsa is kind of demanding you to do it. And you feel like that she's winning. But at the same time, you are empowering her because she's weaponized it against you with the women in the group. And so Lisa then unfollows Marcus. She unfollows Marcus and she goes on to say to her confessional, I unfollow Marcus, but I feel like Larsa is like going to be like, thank you. And, let's be friends now. She's not. But she's unfollowed him. Next scene, we got Julia and Marysol. And they're going to be meeting with Lisa. So they're trying to meet with her on the balcony. Marysol says that it's Stephanie's plane and Stephanie's choice. Why am I taking the heat? You are allowing her to dictate the trip because of the plane. And you and Julia just seem like whack bitches to me. All of this just to fly on the private jet? You've been knowing Lisa so long that you affectionately call her monkey. But Stephanie can come into the group with a private jet and all of a sudden she gets you to ostracize your friend. That's crazy to me. So they ended up meeting up on the balcony. Julia explains to Lisa why they're going to Marbella and why it's so special. And so Marysol tells her that she has to put her phone away because everyone is really uncomfortable about her taking notes.
And bitch, who? Who?
And so Lisa said, I can't put my phone away. I got 2 kids. I got legal shit going on. And that's the truth. The lady literally got an email with an affidavit the day before that said she had to sign it within an hour and 3 minutes. Okay? So that is true. And so she says, look, I'm only taking little notes on Larsa because Larsa likes to lie and twist words. I'm not putting my phone nowhere. I have 2 small children. And so Marysol says, so when you're here, who can help you help them if they need help over there?
You childless whore.
Whatever is going on, see, you don't know this because you're not a mother. Whatever is going on with my children, I need to know. It seems like Marysol is insinuating that if God forbids that her kids are in a car accident, she shouldn't be notified of it because they're with their father or their abuela or whoever they with. And so now she's asking her whether Jody can help her with the kids. All these things to convince her of leaving her phone. And all of this just to make Larsa comfortable. If Larsa feels uncomfortable with her taking notes, then Larsa needs to remove herself from the group. She's not breaking the law and she's not doing anything wrong. She can take notes. Alexia literally said earlier in the episode, I take mental notes. If Lisa needs to take notes with her phone, she can take notes. Lisa says, you know what? I'll just remove myself. I'm not coming to dinner. I feel unwanted. And Julie said, and they was like, that's not true. You are wanted. You are wanted. And Julie said, this is exactly what she didn't want to happen in Marybella. Julia, you ain't talking to your kids right now, so you don't understand. You don't think that adopting kids is something that you should share with your biological kids. So I know you wouldn't understand her needing to reach out to her kids or have a lifeline to her children. You're horrible, mother. So then the girls get dressed for dinner and they go meet into the lobby. The girls are dressed up. Baby Kiki pulled out another look. So the girls are taking pictures. So Alexia ended up FaceTiming Lisa. Lisa told him, look, go ahead. I need like 5 more minutes. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that Lisa said that she wasn't going. But they ended up showing the clip where Marysol called her. And she said, girl, yeah, you have a lot of things going on. And I thought that you handled everything quite well. And I want to see you at dinner. Lisa ends up agreeing to go to the dinner. She said that she's not going to give Larsa the satisfaction of running her out of the group. And so while they're on their way to dinner, we found out that Alexia is 57 years old. I did not know that Alexia was 57 years old. She looks, I'm not going to say that she looks young, but I didn't think that she was 57. Well, we know that she's 57 because she said that she lived there when she was 17, and that was 40 years ago. So when they get to dinner, Marysol shares that they told Lisa that she needs to put her phone in the basket on the plane and at the house in Marbella. And so Adriana started laughing, but it wasn't like a, oh my God, that's funny laugh. It was almost like a ooh, you know, like there are like different types of laughs, right? It was a bitch, I know you lying type of laugh. Or I wish one of you bitches would tell me that type of laugh. That it was, she was like, ooh, I like, it was just funny to me. Adriana is a trip to me. And so Adriana ends up sharing that Lisa unfollowed Marcus. And Alexia and Stephanie think that it's great. Larsa, on the other hand, does not think it's great. And Larsa says that we are so past that, that's literally the bare minimum. And so the line is now moving. That is what caused the conflict. That is why, what you asked her when y'all was in the middle of the street, and she said no, that she didn't unfollow him because you wasn't a great friend. And that is what started the beef with y'all in Spain. And if I'm Lisa, I would have never unfollowed Marcus. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't give a fuck if Larsa was Nicole and Marcus was OJ. I would have not unfollowed him. I would not. And so Gertie said, I didn't know that Adriana was going to announce that because they all made a pact that they wouldn't announce it. And Adriana says that maybe she missed that part because she was watching the birds. Girl, they literally showed the clip. They literally showed a clip of you pinky promising. They showed the clip of you pinky promising Lisa your damn self. They literally showed the clip of you pinky promising her. She probably been drunk. She probably was drunk. So then, baby, Lisa arrived. Baby, they showed Lisa walking down the street. And when I tell you that bitch was pumping, baby, Lisa was walking. It was giving, y'all want me to be the villain? Let me give y'all a villain then if y'all want me to be the villain. It was almost giving bad bitch in a movie that plays the villain. The only one that's coming to my mind right now is, you remember the scene in, what was it? Two Can Play That Game when Gabrielle Union was walking and she had that long ponytail in her head and she had on that red outfit and she was walking to the #1 sauna. Baby, Lisa was walking down that street. Then they had a clip of her walking up the stairs in that badass outfit that she had on. And then as she was walking up the stairs, they also had another scene of her with her head turned coming up the stairs. I said, bitch, I'm gonna give you hoes something to be mad at. Now, when Lisa came in, did y'all hear Stephanie? When she walked in, Stephanie said, are you kidding me? I'm going to eat real quick. And she told Larsa, eat real quick. So Larsa says that she showed up 2 hours late and act like everything is fine. And I literally said to myself when she said that, I don't believe a word that Larsa says. And Bravo heard me. Because next, Bravo ended up showing on the screen that Lisa was actually 1 hour late. And she's still late, but it just shows that Larsa likes to exaggerate things. And this is why we need to be taking notes. Because we can't trust what you say.
Lying, trifling bitch.
So Lisa gets to the dinner, baby. Showed up. What's tea? She said, what's tea? Okay. So Kiki said, you know, we made a promise not to say anything. Adriana run her mouth. Adriana run her mouth. And Adriana says, you know, not like that though. And Kiki said it was like that. And Adriana began to explain. And then she said to Kiki, Kiki, stop being so ratchet.
See, that's a dirty ass bitch right there.
Ratchet is almost saying like, Kiki, stop being a hood rat. Kiki, stop being so ghetto. Kiki, stop being so hood. And I could see in the moment if Kiki was doing something like that, where she was acting ghetto or ratchet or hood. But to call Kiki ratchet because she told Lisa that you did something that you had promised not to do ain't cool.
She's out of line.
I don't think that it was cool. And I ain't like it. I don't like it. And so Kiki's like, what do you mean stop being so ratchet? And Adriana said, because I was bringing good news. And Kiki said, you call me ratchet is fucked up. You calling me ratchet is fucked up. And did you clock Marysol laughing? And Lexia saying, I'm going to choke on the bone? Adriana knew what she was saying. Adriana knew what she was saying. This well-layered onion who has traveled to 58 countries, that lived in Paris and studied art history, that lived in Florence and studied Italian art, that lived in Rome, and now lives in Miami, she knew exactly what she was saying.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
She knew exactly what she was saying. And that's why Marysol and Alexia was laughing. And so Lisa is saying that she didn't mean it like that. And Julia says, Adriana, don't react. Kiki is overreacting.
Let me tell you something, Miss Fleet.
This is why she shouldn't have adopted those boys. How would you react if someone said that your sons are acting like thugs? Would you just dismiss it like that? Or if they get upset, would you tell them they was overreacting? That's what I keep on saying. Stuff with us, it always gets dismissed. All of this shit that Adriana didn't mean it like, she meant it like that. That's what the fuck she said. What do you mean she didn't mean it like that? That's what the fuck she said. The fuck you mean she didn't mean it like that? Y'all don't know. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't know what she meant. And so Kiki said, what you mean she called me ratchet? Now I'm about to get ratchet on her ass. So Gertie and Larsa tell Adriana that's like calling her ghetto. And so Adriana said, well, that's because she was trying to throw me under the bus. But that makes me ratchet and ghetto? That makes Kiki ratchet and ghetto? It might make her messy, but ratchet, ghetto? Girl, no. And so Kiki said, you're too old to be talking like this to people. And I took what she was trying to say is, girl, you too educated and well-traveled to be saying some shit like that. And so Julia says, oh, Kiki, stop.
Shut your mouth. I've had enough of you, you beast.
Now Kiki is fighting back. And so now Adriana, you know how somebody fuck up with you and they try to stand on something? Adriana is trying to make this whole thing about her being old. And she was like, oh, so now I'm old? And Kiki was like, yes, girl, you the same age as my mom. Yes, you're old. Yeah, I wish somebody would try to age shame me and say I'm the same age as their mom. Yes, I'm the same age as your mom, but the bitch had you at 15. What you mean? I'm just saying. I would have got the bitch up off me. You already lost the fight, girl. You might as well go out with a bang. And so Adriana is trying to act like that she's really offended and saying that it's ageism. Even though she called Marysol old the other day on the yacht. Out of the older girls on the show, and I'm assuming that Adriana, Alexia, and Marysol looks the oldest of the group. She looks like the oldest one of the group. So they end up trying to move forward. Lisa apologized for the day before.
Well, why do people apologize? They don't think they did nothing wrong.
Lisa says, I wanted to remove myself. I did. I had to deal with some legal stuff. Gertie saw it. And by the way, does anybody want to take my phone? And so then she started trying to explain the notes, and Adriana stops her and says, I got to go back to Miami because I got to babysit her kids. And she pointed her Kiki.
Oh my God.
And she said, that's what grandmothers do. Adriana, girl, it still ain't it, girl. To me, that makes it worse because for me, and I may not agree, y'all may say that I'm reaching, but to me, it made it worse because it made it seem like Kiki had a litter of kids, like Kim Zolciak. And she only really got one kid. Her son is grown in college. And it almost seemed like you was trying to say that she can't afford childcare or her kids was left out here to fend for themselves. Or her kids is out there getting it out the mud. That's how I took it. I don't know. I could be, I don't know. That's how I took it. Y'all let me know if I'm reaching. I feel like that she was trying to make it seem like that, you know, she can't afford childcare, so I don't know. And so everyone is trying to calm Adriana down, and she's keeps yelling respect, respect. And so Stephanie gets up saying that she's not taking a chance at doing something nice for Julia, and they're acting like this. And here she is dangling that motherfucking plane again. And the truth of the matter is Stephanie wanted a moment to walk out and leave. That's why she said that she was going to hurry up and eat quickly, because the truth of the matter is Stephanie just don't want Lisa on her plane. And she wants to walk out and leave because now Stephanie doesn't have a reason to not invite her. Lisa apologized. She unfollowed Marcus. Y'all pressure her to give up her phone. She said, here go my phone. If y'all want my phone, here go my phone. So Stephanie ends up leaving with Larsa, Alexia, and Marysol. They ended up leaving. Stephanie is in the back of the car crying.
I will not. Will you get out? You want somebody?
They were loud and people was looking around, but to me, it really wasn't all that bad. I feel like that Bravo was trying to edit it and make it seem like that was that bad, and they had cameras in there, so people was looking at the camera, but I don't think it was that. It was just as bad as they're trying to make it seem, especially for Stephanie to be giving tears. You're crying because you don't want Lisa on your jet. And so they get back to the hotel, and she says that she's crying because she doesn't want to just take some of her friends and not the rest. Girl, you did that anyway. You did that anyway on the way here. You literally just did that. You literally just did that. And the thing is, Miss Mamas, you ain't really just balling like that unless you could just take the girls everywhere. That's how I feel. You can, yeah, it's nice accomplishment to have the jet, but if the jet ain't big enough to take all of the housewives every time, you know what I'm saying? Then you ain't really doing nothing. When Sutton had got the jet for the cast trip over there on Beverly Hills, all of the girls rode on a private jet. When the girls ride the private jets on Beverly Hills, all of the cast is riding on a jet. It's not just 3 people or 4 people. The whole cast can ride over there. And they're traveling outside of the country too. So, girl, just stop. So then they go sit in the lobby. Now, earlier, before they went to dinner, Stephanie had a folder because she was getting ready to leave out the lobby earlier when they was getting in their car, and she had to come back and get a folder. So they got into the lobby, and Stephanie started passing out memos, inviting the girls on their jet the next day. And it was almost like she was handing out permission slips. She was like, you're invited tomorrow. It's not your trip, bitch. It's your jet, but it's not your trip. And the girls had to sign it. Then she is saying that she is going to make seating arrangements. And when she said that, Alexia kind of looked up a little bit, like her eyes bulged a little bit. Like, girl, I don't like this. She looked up to Marysol like, girl, I don't like this shit. I don't like it either. Bitch, don't play me. As she's making seating arrangements, in the seating arrangements, she has Lisa and Adriana separated from the rest of the group, and she's calling them criminals.
In some ways.
And when I say that she has them separated from the rest of the group, she has Lisa on one end of the jet, and they're not even together. So they're both isolated from the group, and they're not even by each other. Alexia says that they aren't going to like being separated. This should only be if they're misbehaving, which is they're not. And Alexia, I just feel like that you're not telling it like it is and you holding back. I just feel like that you're not really standing in it and telling it like it is. I feel like that you're holding back. I'm sorry. I do. I can look and tell that she don't like this, but you're not really giving it to Stephanie the way you would give it to another girl on this show. I'm just being honest with you, baby. Stephanie goes a step further. See, I've been telling y'all about this girl.
Don't you guys, I said it. I said it.
Stephanie says that she also have the option of leaving them there if they disrespect her.
Girl, stop.
And they would have to drive back. And Alexia looked up to Marysol like, girl, did you hear this? Like she looked up like, girl, like, you know how the way I took it is, you know how sometimes you like look up at your friend? She know that there's cameras and stuff around, but she's looking at her like, girl, look at me real quick. Like, girl, you know, that's how I do. You know how your friends and stuff around and you hear something or whatever and you try to make eye contact real quick, but you don't want anybody else to catch it? That's how Alexia looked up to Marysol. And I guess Marysol picked up what Alexia was putting down because Marysol said that she didn't like the isolated seating and she didn't like that they were being punished and she doesn't want to go anymore. And said maybe we shouldn't go. And then Stephanie says, let's try to make this work. I'm doing this for Julia. Girl, bye. I can't take it. I can't take it. Listen, this was a good episode to me. That girl, Stephanie, I've been telling y'all about Stephanie all season. And I feel like when I be telling y'all stuff, y'all be in the comments telling me stuff as if I'm crazy, but then y'all catch up. But then y'all catch up. I see shit before other people see it. And then some people will never see it, and that's fine. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about the episode. I do believe that the girls are ganking up on Lisa. I do believe that Larsa wants to be a victim. I do think that Adriana meant to call Kiki ratchet, and I think that she was dead ass motherfucking wrong. It would be different if Kiki was doing, Kiki could be ratchet, but she wasn't doing anything ratchet in that moment for her to warrant being called that. And Kiki doesn't, well, can Kiki be ratchet? No, she could be a little bit uncouth, right? But just ratchet, ghetto, no, I don't get that from her. So no, I want to take that back. I don't see her, she could be uncouth, talking about sucking dick in her pussy and opening her legs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I can see her being uncouth. But I don't see her just being ratchet like that. And Adriana knew what she was saying, and I think that she actually meant what she was saying. But this bitch, Stephanie,
I don't like her.
I don't like her. I don't like her with this plane. I don't like how she's trying to make power plays with her plane. And like Alexia called it out, like dangling like this carrot with your plane over their heads. I don't like it at all. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see y'all later. I'm sorry the review is so long, but I'm sorry, but it was just a good episode. I had to touch a lot of stuff in this review more than usual. But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.
Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25 got it. Call daddy, tell him 25 got it.